What is going on, guys? It is the JMO and welcome back to a brand new Call of Duty video. Today we're continuing the Let's Talk About Sports series. Let's Talk About Sports number 2. Today is June 13th, Tuesday, June 13th, so we're talking about things that have happened in the past couple days. Number 1, the Warriors won the NBA Finals last night, second time out of the last 3 years that the Warriors were the last remaining team at the end of the NBA season. Couple things surrounding this. One, they could go down as possibly the best team ever in NBA history, and it can be argued, and it's really hard to really compare based on stats and things like that, since the NBA's and specifically the Jordan Bulls teams and this Warriors team, completely different times of the NBA, and the NBA is just so different from the way it used to be, so it's difficult to try and decide which team is the best. KD, Kevin Durant, won MVP, deservingly had 39 points, 5 assists, and 7 rebounds on 14 of 20 shooting. In Game 5, had more than 30 points in all of the games in this series, and was clearly one of the best players on the floor, if not the best player on the floor the entire series. LeBron averaged a triple-double in this NBA Finals, so obviously he's in the discussion as well. But Kevin Durant was playing with a lot of confidence and taking and making shots that require lots of confidence to make. Like I said, Warriors' second time in 3 years. Something interesting. The Warriors, as of right now, will not visit the White House, and I am not in any way, shape, or form trying to create a political commentary here. That is just interesting with Donald Trump being the most controversial president in history, and this question of will sports teams go to the White House, which has never really been a thing. Sports teams have just always gone to the White House, so it's kind of interesting to see that they've already decided as of right now to not visit Trump's White House. Number 2, we talked in the last Let's Talk About Sports that Ohio State let go of Thad Matta, and since we last talked, Coach Chris Holtmann from Butler University has taken that job, and I talked about that in Saturday's video. But Butler has hired a new head coach. His name is LaVall Jordan from Milwaukee, the University of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Couple things: he's been a former player and coach at Butler. He was an assistant coach, and he played in the early 2000s, late 1990s. So if you're not going to get an assistant that was there with Holtmann, he's probably the next best thing. He understands what Butler's trying to create in that culture. It hasn't changed a whole lot since he played. They've sort of thrived on that underdog culture and that quote-unquote Butler way. A couple of things he's going to have to get over as he moves towards the season is brand new coaching staff. Coach Holtmann took almost his entire coaching staff with him to Ohio State, which really doesn't help, so he's going to have to piece together a coaching staff. And he's going to have to try and get his recruits to stay. One of the 4-star recruits, his name is Kyle Young, has already expressed the possibility of going to Ohio State with Coach Holtmann. And the other 4-star that was on Holtmann's recruiting class for this fall hasn't really been public, and said he was going to make his decision after there was a new coach announced. There have been a few recruits that said that they will stay and attend Butler. But there's a couple things he's going to have to come over, and it'll be interesting to see how that team sort of shapes up as we move towards the college basketball season. Last thing I want to talk about is the USA tied Mexico in their World Cup qualifier a couple days ago. They had one shot on goal, and Mexico had one shot on goal, and that shot went in. The U.S. had a goal from over 30 yards, just a banger in the left corner. So really great game. The U.S. has gotten 8 points in the last 4 games in their qualifiers, which puts them in second, tied with Costa Rica behind Mexico. And at one point they were last in the standings. So it was cool to see the U.S. Have a little success in soccer and just to see them play well on the soccer's biggest stage. Not a whole lot to talk about today. That's Let's Talk Sports number 2. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, like, comment, subscribe. Subscribe especially if you're new to join the Dad Hack Gang. And I will see you guys in the next video. Later.